Okay, now let's read page 297. Here you will see where you've been. We have learned chapter 1 to chapter 5. So we learn about descriptive statistics. So you know how to collect and describe data, use a graph or a table like a frequency distribution. And also we learn about probability. So we know how to find the probabilities for different events. We know how to analyze discrete and continuous probability distributions. Talk about binomial and the normal distribution probability. And we also talk about central limit theorem. Okay, now chapter 6, we'll learn how to use inferential statistics, which means how do you use sample data to make inference about population. This is a major branch of statistics, and it's our a goal. So you need to know how to use your data to how do you use a sample to make inference about your population. That's why we keep talking about what is the population, what is sample in previous discussion forum. Okay, so you can see here. Here it gives you like an idea what we mean in this chapter. We'll know how to make how to estimate a population parameter using a sample statistic. In particular, we are interested in a confidence interval, which means it's an interval estimate with the level of confidence, like this picture shows. Okay, so let's look at the learning objectives of 6.1. So we'll talk about how to find the point estimate, how to find margin of error, and how to construct and interpret confidence interval for the population mean, how to determine minimum sample size required when estimate population mean. Now here, this picture shows if you want to estimate the population mean using the sample data or sample mean, we can construct or we can calculate the margin of error, and then when you use your sample mean, like his picture shows 115, subtract the margin of error, and then add the margin of error, you'll get two numbers. It's a lower limit and upper limit, or the lower the left end point, which is 111.7, and the right interval end point is 118.3. Now we can say we're 90% confident that the mean IQ of its members is between 111.7 and 118.3. So in this section, we'll talk about how do we find the margin of error and how do we put all together. Okay, so let's first review some symbols. X bar represents the single value estimate for population mean parameter, which is the sample mean. So X bar represents the sample mean, and then mu represents the population mean. So usually we think about what your data you collected for your discussion forum. You are interested in something, say the mean temperature or the mean commuting hours, minutes, or the mean sleeping hours. So this is your parameter because it's from a population, and usually you don't know about that. But you collect a sample, and then you can calculate the sample mean. That's a statistic. So in 6.1, we want to use a sample mean to estimate a population mu. And the sample mean, if you use a single value like sample mean to estimate population parameter, and that sample mean is called the point estimate. For example, if you are interested in the how many hours you sleep, like in general the mean sleep hours, then you can collect sample of few nights, say 15 nights, and find a sample sleep mean, like average sleeping hours of these 14 nights. then that's a point estimate. So you can use the sample mean to estimate the population mean. Or like this example, if we have this many employees, number of hours worked, and then we want to estimate that the population mean, which means the population means grocery store employees in a county. So that's our population. And our sample is this 40 selected employees, their work hours. So if you want to estimate the average grocery store employees work hours in this county, we can select this sample, 40 employees, and use their sample mean. So if you put this number in StatCrunch, you can find the sample mean says 29.6. Then you can say, well, on average, we estimate that the number of hours worked by all grocery store employees in this county is 29.6 hours. So this number is from these 40 employees. That's a statistic, but then we use that as an estimate to estimate a parameter which represents the mean number of hours for all grocery store employees in this county. So obviously that number is bigger than 40, so you have more than 40 employees in this county, but you did not, you couldn't get everybody's work hours. So we can only select a sample and use the sample to represent the population.